All right, everybody. This is your boy Glenn, back with part 2 of the take 2 of the Bears offseason game plan videos. We're going to hop right into it and then hop into a fantasy draft. Before I bring you part 3, looking forward to next year's 53-man roster as a result of the draft. All right, so first off, looking at the draft, these are 6 positions that I would put super high priority on. Obviously, we're probably not going to fill all of them or be able to fill all of them, but I would argue we need starters at those positions. It would be nice to get a little depth at these positions. And if possible, we're going to trade back and get more picks for this year. That's the game plan. So with that being said, we're going to use Pro Football Focus's mock draft simulator tool to hop into a draft. Also, I know that you can get some lopsided trades accepted. So we're going to go ahead and use this trade value chart to make sure we're at least within range of reason of a fair trade if and when they come about. So let's start the draft. Now let's look to trade out of that number 1 spot. So we have six potential trade partners. First one being Detroit. And I like Detroit's draft picks, but I don't like them being in the division, and I don't want to trade with them to give them their choice of quarterback potentially. Now that being said, we're trying to win a Super Bowl, and if we're trying to do that, we're trying to be the best team in football. If we don't see one of these quarterbacks as, totally elite and game changing, then maybe we give Detroit a chance to pull the trigger on one of these quarterbacks. The Jets are down to 13, Patriots at 14. Jets probably for sure wanting a quarterback. I don't like the Jets picks nearly as much, especially for this year. What does 6 and 18 compare to 1 look like on this trade thing? So 1,400 points. So that still leaves us with 500 left. 48 would be 420. And 55 would be 350. So we'd be 270 over on a 3,000 trade. I would say that's within reason. See if Detroit takes it, and they do. Let's see who they pick with their first pick. Oh, they trade all the way up to take Jalen Carter. Okay. I mean, he's going to be a stud, most likely. But we'll let them make that trade. And in this scenario, I don't really see this as being a total likelihood. But in this scenario, Will Anderson, there's been 2 other edges taken ahead of him. I don't see any scenario where this is a reality except for this draft, apparently. So with that being said, I mean, we can't control what the other teams take. We'll go ahead and take what a lot of people think is the best player in the draft. We'll take Will Anderson at the edge rusher position. Really like chance at Peter Skoronski. I was thinking that if we ended up 6 through 9, 10, I think he makes a lot of sense there. Especially because he's got the versatility to move inside to guard if we needed him to in a pinch. Zay Flowers, that's like the highest I've seen him picked in any draft. He goes 15 to the Packers. All right. Let's see what we got here. So we got an edge rusher. We need some interior defensive line help. Don't see anybody at this position that's going to help us there. We'd use an offensive tackle. I mean, Broderick Jones is an option. I don't really think I love that. I think I'd rather go wide receiver and a difference-making wide receiver that I think the 2 best receivers in the draft are Addison and Njigba, in my opinion. I think Njigba's a slot guy, though, and I think in a perfect world, Mooney's our slot. I'm going to go ahead and go Jordan Addison here. So with the first 2 picks, we get Will Anderson and Jordan Addison. Darnell Wright's an option at right tackle. Step in and fill that position right away. Now that being said, I don't know if he's the kind of measurables that the current staff really wants. Keely Ringo, you want to talk about measurables. Guy's got some measurables. A little inconsistent in coverage this year. from what I've seen and heard. At one point, he was probably the number one cornerback on a lot of people's boards. Sounds like he's more like 4 or 5 now. If we didn't have Will Anderson, I'd be considering this guy right now, Felix Anudike Uzama. I like Jahmyr Gibbs, but I don't want to take a running back here. I think there's more important positions. Think of one of these two cats right here. I also like Darnell Washington a lot too, but backup tight end right now doesn't make sense given this roster. Do I think Darnell Wright is a huge upgrade over Larry Borum? I don't. So we're going to go Keely Ringo. Will Anderson, Jordan Addison, Keely Ringo right now. All right. Still need offensive tackle and running back. Still need interior defensive line. Like Zach Harrison a lot. Some edge depth at this point, though. Other edge depth guy. Potential tackle there. We're at 55 and we got one at 64. Let's see what the tackles look like. All right, I like both these guys at tackle. One of them will be there, I would think. Interior defensive line. I like Trevon Dexter. I also like Kobe Turner. I think it might be a little early for both of them. We're going to do something I didn't really want to do. We're going to take Jahmyr Gibbs here. I think he's a great compliment to Khalil Herbert. John Michael Smith, if we didn't just spend a bunch of money on Ethan Posich in the free agency, would make a whole lot of sense. I don't know if he's got the ability to play guard, but if we think he could back up any of the interior offensive line positions, maybe he's the pick. Jack Campbell and Darnell Washington make a lot of sense in terms of depth. So does some of these edge rushers. Jalen Hyatt, if we didn't take Jordan Addison already. You know what? I just don't want to fuck up offensive tackle, I think. I think either of these guys are going to be a little bit of a reach, but let's go with Blake Freeland out of BYU. Position we have to fill day one. So go with that cat. All right. Do we want some edge rush depth? We want some tackle depth. We got a chance to take both the guys. See how they duke it out. Sam Laporta at tight end maybe makes some sense. There's another edge down there I like too, and Isaiah Foskey. All right, we're going to go either. No, not either. We're going to go Sam Laporta, get our backup tight end, and then we're going to hope there's an edge or an interior defensive lineman to draft here. Kobe Turner. I think that's going to be the easy pick. Zach Pickens. Yeah, we're going to go Kobe Turner. On to round 5. Did get Jahmyr Gibbs, but another running back wouldn't be the worst thing. Also some depth here at either tackle or edge. Jarrett Patterson has some interior offensive line depth. I'm going to go Jonah Tavai. Some depth at interior defensive line. Ivan Pace Jr., linebacker out of Cincinnati, is going to join the Bears here in this scenario. We're going to go ahead and pick up Clayton Tune to be a backup quarterback. Probably quarterback 3 to start. Go ahead and snag Servassier Dennis to get a little more depth at Linebacker. With the last pick here. Thinking offensive line. Don't love any of them. We'll pass on offensive line. See, this draft tool just doesn't have the depth that some of the other ones do. Go with safety here. DeMarco Helms. Get some safety depth. All right, that will complete our draft. Run real quick through some of the picks. Let you guys take a look. And then with the next video, I'll come back with a quick 90-man and 53-man previews. Obviously, I'm not going to have all the depth filled in at the 90-man. So, work with me here. 53-man might be a little more realistic if they were to go out and execute free agency in the draft in the way that I see fit. But, I mean, I think if you're telling Bears fans that you give Detroit the first overall pick and they don't go Bryce Young, they don't go CJ Stroud, they go Jalen Carter, I think they can live with it. They know Carter's going to be good, but they're going to be okay with that. And then we get their sixth, we get an additional first round, and we get 2 second rounders. And at 6, we get Will Anderson Jr. I think Bears fans would be excited. So in this scenario, we're getting Will Anderson Jr., Jordan Addison, Keely Ringo, Jahmyr Gibbs, and a whole lot more in this draft. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. We'll be back with part 3 where I go over, or I will more so focus on the 53-man than the 90, but take quick looks at both of them and take a look at how the Bears roster might start to shape up come training camp. So, and opening day. So, thanks again for tuning in. This is your boy Glenn. Peace.